Hi everyone, welcome back to the Club Chat. This is going to be a very exciting episode today. We've had a lot of people request for this guest. Today we have Grace with us from Grounded with Grace. We might know her from our retreats or around the studio. She's my sister as well. If you don't know that, it's very obvious by looking at us. So she's here to talk all things nervous system today. So I'm really excited to jump in. Thanks for joining us, Grace.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to share more about what I do. And I'm also very happy that a lot of you have wanted to hear more about what I do as well. So I'm super excited.
It should be a good chat. So the first thing I want to start, let's just start at the start. What got you into Reiki and what made you want to start a business in nervous system coaching?
I started nervous system regulation in high school before I sort of knew what it was. Whenever I felt stressed or anxious, around school and things like that, I would always do breath work, meditation, all those sorts of things. And that was sort of before nervous system regulation was on social media. And I knew that it made me feel so much better, but I didn't really know why. But I continued to practice those things. And then as I got older, started to learn more about the nervous system and how to regulate the nervous system and what it actually does. And then I had a tarot reading in high school. I think I was about 17. And she said to me that I had healing hands and that I'm an empath and Reiki would be something that I should do. So I then booked my course and then I just started practicing on people and it made such a difference to them. So then I just really started to continue on that journey of helping other people. And it's been really, really inspiring seeing what it actually does for other people.
I love that. So what's the version of Grace that was at school that first started going into nervous system regulation to who you are today? What's led to that point and what have you learned along the way?
I was definitely more anxious in high school. I've always sort of struggled a little bit with identity and things like that as well. I think just it's a hard thing because you never fully understand who you are. And being an empath, I take on a lot from other people. So doing those things, like all the nervous system regulation, has really helped me to understand who I am and what I need with my mind and body and what works for me. So it's been a long journey of regulation and work and self-healing as well. So yeah, I was definitely more anxious in high school, and I feel like over the years and then going into a business as well, I've learned a lot more about myself. And I do a lot of journaling, and then I do Reiki on myself. I do meditation, yoga, and even my art as well is a big outlet for me too. So yeah, it's just been a really big journey of learning more about myself, and it's made me feel so much more just confident, I think, and confident in myself. And, I'm only turning 21 in October, so I feel like I've done quite a bit for my age. I've always felt a little bit older than what I actually am. Yeah. But, sometimes I do sound healings for groups over 40 people. And if that was me in high school, I would have been freaking out. And sometimes I do get really nervous still, but I just have the power over my mind to be able to ground myself and come back to everything that I know to regulate my nervous system before doing things like that. So I think things feel easier now if I do feel anxious or stressed about certain things.
Yeah, definitely. Have you seen the saying that it's owning a business is the biggest self-development ever?
Yeah.
Everything gets fed back to you very quickly, and you just got to deal with things that you
especially
wanted to.
Client work as well, learning to communicate with other people and just talking to people all day, but also while regulating yourself and being in control of your energy after the end of the day, talking to people all day and stuff like that.
Different personalities.
Emotions. Yeah, you're taking a lot energetically from working with lots of different people. And then running a business can be hard. Yeah. It's a bit of a challenge, but it's also very exciting as well.
I always find it hard, you can talk to someone who's going through the worst time of their life, and then the next person's going through the best time of their life, and how you have to switch to even though you just heard some really bad news, it's you still have to be excited for the next person, even though you're still thinking about that client. It's just and then being a business owner on top of that.
And with what I do as well, Reiki can be quite emotional for some people. So talking to them a lot about, the things that they're going through and then them leaving and then having another person coming in and talking about it. It's something I'm really passionate about, but it's also important to ground myself as well. And exactly.
No, I love it. So Is there anything else you want to share about sort of what got you there? Or otherwise we can jump in and start talking about what actually is nervous system regulation. Because I feel like it gets thrown around a lot these days.
Yeah.
So I want to get sort of the bottom of it in this chat. It's like,
Yeah.
what does that actually mean? Like,
Yeah.
what is Reiki? What is sound healing? And what is nervous system regulation?
So basically, from a science point of view, your nervous system is a part of your body that pretty much controls the way that you react to things. And it's the connection from your brain to your nerves. So say if you're in a situation where there's clear danger, you get that feeling in your stomach. And you just like know, and that's just like fight or flight straight away. You feel your adrenaline and all of that. That comes from your nervous system. But that is a very big warning, like when it's like clear danger. But throughout the day, each day, if there's like little things like, say, looking at social media or the news, we're taking in all of that energy that can put our nervous system into fight or flight without us even realizing. You don't even feel it until you may be running in that state for a long time, and then maybe you have a panic attack, or you have, you get burnt out, or you feel sick, and then it makes you think and be like, what is actually going on with my body? Like, I didn't even feel stressed, but now I'm having a panic attack or something. And a lot of the time it's because your body is actually holding the stress more than what your mind is. You might be going through every day feeling fine in your head, but then you notice little things from your body. And stress has such a big impact on our body and our health as well. And it has been, proven to cause chronic illness and things like that if you are stuck in fight or flight. So yeah, that's pretty much what your nervous system does. But there's 2 states. Well, there's actually 3. So you have your fight or flight. You then have your rest state as well. And then you also have like your freeze response too. So there's sort of 3 different things that your nervous system can do. When you're in fight or flight, that's more when you're feeling stressed. And then once you come out of that, you're in your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest state. So say you go for like a Reiki appointment, you feel really like relaxed afterwards, things like that. That's because you're in that rest state. And then you also have your freeze. So if you are like in danger or something like that, then you feel like you can freeze. And that's something that I struggle with when I public speak. I feel like I get that freeze response. So it's really important for me to come back and regulate again.
Yeah.
Because that can be a hard one. I feel like when you public speak, I feel like you can really tell what your nervous system is doing, because it's like danger that's not danger. It's just like something that a lot of people get anxious to do.
Yeah.
So that's like a good example. But yeah, every day I'm going through like little things, like little stresses from work, and all of that can build up in your nervous system. And your nervous system also holds trauma. So if you go through a lot of things like over time, your nervous system can only hold on and like process so much of your trauma. So that's why as well, a lot of people go years without feeling trauma from certain things. And then all of a sudden they start getting triggered by something that happened years ago. Then you think, why is that coming up now? But it's because your nervous system may be relaxed enough that it can then process it.
Yeah.
Otherwise it just bottles it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like so many people will be able to relate to that. I'm sure you guys listening would be able to relate. I can definitely relate to a lot of that. And I'm sure everyone's very like different with what they experience. Like I'm very much, like you said, you freeze when you public speak. I very much suffer panic attacks. Like I actually don't realize I'm stressed until I have a panic attack.
Yeah.
And I know my body signs now, like when I'm slowly getting to a point of probably starting to have panic attacks again, I'm like, okay, something's not right.
Yeah.
I need to adjust. What's some things that you feel like you said, like you mentioned a few things, but if you having a bit of a list of things people might not realize could lead to like stress. So obviously work.
Yeah.
Relationships, I'm sure, news, social media. Is there anything else that?
Well, with what I do as well, I come from a place of the nervous system, but also energy as well. Everything I do is energy work. And in science, it has actually been proven everything has energy, even furniture, things like that. So you can imagine if a piece of furniture has energy, how much energy do we have as humans? Like how much of a frequency do we have? Because we feel emotions and like all of those things as well. So I feel like what you're taking in every day, it has a certain frequency. So whether it's, people you're talking to at work, things you're viewing on your phone, like anything like that, your body and your mind's taking that in, and that has an effect on your nervous system as well. Anything you rely on like that can have an effect on your nervous system as well. But then also social media, how people talk to you, like in your relationships or how you're talking to others as well, or to yourself. Like if you're talking down to yourself every day in your mind, that also has a huge effect on how you're feeling too. And that's why, with that has an effect on your nervous system, but your energy too.
Yeah.
And that's why, you need to make sure that energetically you're aligning with things in your life and you're doing everything you can to be positive, because it has a huge effect on your life, but also on the way you feel as well.
Wasn't there, I feel like I read something ages ago about like they've proven that if you speak bad to a plant, it actually like shrivels up.
Yeah, they actually say to talk to your plants, talk nicely to your plants and they'll grow better.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of tests and things on stuff like that with energy.
And that's a plant. So imagine like doing that to you, like as a human, like the impact that words and feelings and everything has, and like habits and all that stuff would have a massive impact.
Anything that you're consuming. Even I say that
food, nutrition.
I say food has an energy.
Yeah, definitely.
And I feel better energetically when I'm eating like whole foods or like foods that come from the earth. And like when I talk nicely to myself and when I'm being creative and making art and things like that, like I try and live by all of that stuff because I genuinely feel so much better. And that's a part of like my discovery of like, working on myself and like over the years, like in high school to now, trying so many different things. And I feel like I now know what works, and it is all of those, like what I eat, what I create, like all of that, the way I think, it all has an effect on how you feel in everyday life.
I'm just going to go on a little bit of tangent, but even like, because I think nutrition is a big thing, and I'm sure there's lots of questions about nutrition. We're definitely going to do some topics on it. But I think even like what you eat, when you eat it, how you, like if you eat it fast, if you eat it watching TV, if you eat it at work, like there's so many like key factors to everything. Like, are you looking at social media before bed? Like that's going to make you not have a good night's sleep. You don't have a good night's sleep. You're not going to be as regulated. If you wake up straight away, you start scrolling, like, it's all the habits you hear all the time, isn't it?
It is. And one thing I forgot to mention, this is one I'm very passionate about. The main thing I see that affects people's nervous system is rushing.
Yeah.
Everyone is rushing. You're doing like the dishes and you're doing it as quickly as you can, even though you may not need to be anywhere after doing it. And, like going down to the grocery store and like doing your groceries, like you're doing it as quickly as you can. And it's like you don't realize how much you're rushing until you say to yourself, like, stop. Like, why am I rushing right now?
You just get
like once you take notice, you're like, oh my God.
Brainwashed into it, don't you? That you have to be productive and get stuff done quickly.
Yeah. I think it's just like being sort of conditioned from like, I guess, social media and just like,
you're
trying
never
to
doing enough. You're never achieving enough.
Yeah. So then you're always working quickly, but then that's actually dysregulating your nervous system, which then makes the capacity of doing things harder as well.
Yeah. Interesting topic. Loving this. All right. Let's.
I'm struggling with a tickle in my throat.
So now we sort of have an understanding of what nervous system regulation is. Why should people care?
Because it has such a huge effect on how you feel and how you get through life and your health as well.
And how you show up, I guess.
And how you show up. And, one of the reasons I'm so passionate about it is more for health, physical and mental health, because I don't want to get sick when I'm older. And I think that stress could be one of the main reasons why I would get sick, because I do have anxiety and like that can be hard. But then I feel like I do all the right things with like, I try and exercise as much as I can. I try and like eat healthy, all of that. But the one thing that I think is a bit out of my control sometimes is my stress. But that's why I have these tools to bring it back into my control.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is so important, but also like it just helps with your self-confidence too. Being regulated and just like noticing your thoughts and what you're telling yourself. And then from a bit of a science point of view, being like, I don't want to talk to myself like that because I know that that doesn't make me feel good.
Yeah. It'd stop overthinking, self-doubt. Like knowing, like as a business owner, sometimes like when I'm unregulated, I probably don't show up in a scenario the way that I wanted to. So now we're having the tools, and I've been doing lots of deep diving into this recently. You have the tools and you go, no, you know what? I showed up in that situation with integrity. I was regulated. I did all the right things beforehand. How someone else responds to it or
it makes you feel better.
Like you don't sit there and go, should I have done this? Should I have done that? Like, I tried to do everything I could in that scenario to have the most positive impact that I can.
It grounds you.
Like I've found that massive as a business owner, is like the level of like overthinking. like that I don't do now that I'm regulated, but I was doing before because I'm like, okay, like I'm actually checking in myself and asking myself, right, how do I want to show up in this situation? How do I want people to feel after having an interaction with me? What am I telling myself? Like, if I tell myself I'm shit, like, you again, like energy, like, you're going to walk into that room and there's going to be an energy that you might not even know has really said anything, but the people in front of you can tell you're not confident.
Yeah, 100%. And going more into the energy side of things as well, I feel like everything you do affects your energy. But then the more higher energy things you're doing, so like they say high vibrational, which I feel like people like laugh and they're like high vibes, but it's actually a thing that, you know, the more positive you are, the higher your frequency is and the more positive your life is because you're surrounding yourself with positivity. It's like people sometimes don't believe in that and I'm totally fine with that as well. But when you listen to sad music, you feel sad. When you watch sad movies, you feel sad. It's energy. Like, you know, people agree with that, but then sometimes judge like energy work and just like that belief. So yeah, it's just so important for the way you feel. But I also have a lot of clients who struggle with anxiety and even burnout as well. Both of those pretty much are from your nervous system a lot of the time. And they can be from trauma and things like that. But again, that's affecting your nervous system. That's why your body's reacting. And I have people who struggle with their sleep from anxiety, which is again from nervous system. So it can help with sleep, anxiety, the way you feel, your overall confidence, and it just helps you to feel more grounded, which helps decision making. It helps your friendships and your relationships because you're not coming home from work and feeling really frustrated towards your partner just because you've been stressed.
Yeah.
So it's like that makes your life more enjoyable because you're actually enjoying going home and seeing your partner and doing, you know, things that you enjoy because you feel less stressed and overwhelmed and burnt out because it's so common.
I know.
It is so common. Like when I have people in and have clients in, like most people feel burnt out or stressed or anxious or struggle with sleep or have something or like even their skin, like your skin can be affected. Like you can have breakouts and hormones too are really affected by your nervous system as well. So it controls so much of your body and so much of your health and your life, like, but you don't usually realize it until you start to fix it.
Yeah.
And then you look back and you're like, oh my God, I've had so much growth.
Yeah.
But sitting there and meditating, people like, I feel like this isn't doing anything.
And do you know I just always come from a business owner perspective because that's what I can relate to and that's the things that I watch. But the top business owners all say meditation.
Yeah. I love meditation.
They all say it.
I love it. It's hard, but it's good. It's amazing.
And I could imagine, like, I'm talking as a business owner, which is also like as a leader of like a team and stuff, and also I talk like we are leaders of the members and we help guide them in the right way, whatever. Yeah. But also parents are leaders of kids.
Yeah.
You might be a manager at your job or like
everyone's a leader.
Everyone's a leader in some capacity, or you're leading yourself. Like no one will save you. You have to lead yourself. So yeah, like all these tools are good for anyone that's dealing with stuff. So then you don't come home, like we talk about partners, but you also might not be regulated in the way that you are like parenting your kids. And then you feel really bad afterwards because you reacted and snapped in a way that you probably felt like you shouldn't have. And it just stops all that guilt trip or like.
And that's really common too. Mums coming in and saying like, you know, they come in, they're like, I need a Reiki session. I've felt that frustrated at my kids this week. And I'm like, it's not the kids and it's also not you. It's more your nervous system.
So, yeah.
But then you feel bad because you're reacting to your kids in a way that might be, you know, frustrated and make them feel bad. But it's actually because you're just dysregulated. And that's the thing too, being a parent can really dysregulate your nervous system because you're dealing with so much and like just a lot at a time. So it is hard for parents to regulate, but it is also possible and very important as well.
And I could imagine that, correct me if I'm wrong, kids' nervous system would also react to the parents' nervous system. And if the parents seem stressed, they're going to feel stressed.
Yeah.
If you're a leader and you seem stressed, your team's going to feel stressed.
Yeah.
If you're partner's stressed, you feel stressed. Like, no matter what it is, your energy changes people around you.
And I encourage things like Reiki or meditation or anything like that for kids.
Yeah.
Anything that you can get them to do that helps their nervous system is really good, because that's something that's important for them to learn as early as they can. Something that helped me just in my teenage years. I probably started meditating when I was like probably 13 or 14, which is quite young, but that's, I think, really helped me to get further in life. So yeah, that's very important too.
I started meditating for a bit and I haven't done it for a while, but I
Yeah,
need to get back
it's
to it after this
hard.
conversation.
It is hard, and
I find it
everyone
so
everyone sort of rolls their eyes at me when I do a Reiki appointment. I'm like, you should be meditating. They're like, I know, but I just don't like it. I'm like, it is hard. It's a challenge, and you can't fully shut off your mind, but it can help to completely rewire your brain. And
Yeah.
it can actually help you to, you know, the thoughts come in your head, you acknowledge it, and then you pass it on. And that can
and
help
you are
with
not your thoughts.
Yeah, and that can help you. So you do that in meditation, but that can help you in real life when you have an anxious thought. You acknowledge it, you get rid of it. And you almost start reviewing the way that you're thinking, which then rebuilds your brain and the way that you think. Yeah.
You go, that's stupid. What am I thinking about that for?
Yeah. And nervous system regulation doesn't just have to be meditation. I talk a lot about meditation because it's what I enjoy. But it can be yoga, can be exercise, can be a walk, sunlight, stretch classes. There's lots of different things that you can do. Drawing, painting for me is a huge one. I love painting.
Even I find like playing the drums therapeutic.
Music,
running.
And I tell a lot of my clients to find a hobby or find something creative as well, because that's also regulating as well. Journaling. Another thing that I've found has actually really helped my nervous system too is a lot of more like self-care, which for those that don't know, I work in beauty as well. So I've found that, you know, doing like my skincare and like gua sha or like things like that, like something that you're interested in, but something that helps you slow down, like that can really help as well.
Yeah. Definitely. Okay. So I can imagine a lot of people are listening to this, sort of me as well. And, you know, you go, okay, this all sounds really good, but, you know, like I do work full time. I do have kids to deal with. My life's stressful. Like, what's some ways that if people are feeling constantly stressed or anxious or overwhelmed, like what's like 5 steps that say simple things that they could start this week to help regulate their nervous system?
Something that I always recommend for people, especially if you're working a lot, is on your lunch break, leaving work or stepping outside away from others so that you do have a moment by yourself to take a deep breath. That's just like a really simple one, which I feel like helps because you don't necessarily have to find time in the morning or at night, but you're dealing with people at work, you're dealing with different energies and, you know, stressful situations and things like that. If you can take 5 minutes to step away, have a breath and come back, that's already telling your nervous system that it's safe.
You'll be way more productive too for those that want to prioritize productivity. Oh my God. You're way more productive with a break.
Yeah.
You'll get more done.
So I feel like that's a good place to start. From there, I would also say a hobby, like what we were just talking about. If you can find time, even just like once or twice a week. Because right now you might be someone who doesn't regulate their nervous system at all. So then going to twice a week is still going to make a huge difference.
Yeah, definitely.
Just like learning to signal to your body that it's safe. That is what nervous system regulation is. You're telling your body that it's safe to actually rest. So anything that helps you to feel safe, any sort of hobbies, anything creative, but you can also do just like even a 5-minute meditation, a 5-minute stretch before bed. And one of the biggest things too that I recommend is eating your breakfast outside, getting sunlight first thing in the morning.
That's my nutrition clients.
Yeah.
It's habit stacking it together.
Yeah. And not going on your phone in the morning as well. So there's simple things like, say, not going on your phone in the morning and eating breakfast outside. You're not really taking any extra time to do those things. You're just changing it up a little bit and eliminating stuff. So they're really helpful tips as well.
I think I just thought of the thought. Something you might want to clarify maybe is doom scrolling and watching TV is not a hobby.
No,
because you're still stimulated.
Yes. You're overstimulated, if anything, because of the amount of things that you're taking in.
Definitely.
So yeah, that's anything away from technology. But music is fine. Like if you want to have a hobby, like I paint and listen to music, I actually listen to a lot of house jazz.
Yeah.
Because it's relaxing, or I listen to whale sounds, like random things like that.
Yeah.
you're still sort of, you got your headphones on and your phone's next to you, but I just turn it on silent and I paint and I listen to things like that relax me.
I listen to nature sounds.
Yeah.
Or classical music.
You can listen to sound healing on Spotify as well. Sound healing that's recorded still is the same as sound healing in person. You might not feel it as much because you can't feel the vibration as heavy, but it still works. So that's also a good one as well. And then that's another thing too. If you wanted to just like put headphones on in the morning while you're getting ready for work and listen to sound bowls, that's regulating your nervous system too. So you actually don't have to do any extra time for it. If you can, that's great. And you could find something, where you might want to do a full hour of yoga or a full hour meditation. That's great too. But whatever works.
We dove into a lot of this stuff at the business conference I went to last week about how important it is to regulate your nervous system as a business owner and stuff. And they talked about like, how you're talking about rushing, like just set your day up well. And I know that one thing I took away is I probably do need to like not just roll out of bed and go straight to work.
Yeah.
Like I need to fill my own cup up to then be able to give to other people, especially like we said in client work. And I almost that. I don't know. It's not public speaking, group speaking.
Yeah.
I like straight away. Like imagine rolling out of bed and then you've got to talk to a group of people straight away and motivate them. Like, so I need to make sure that I'm not just like rolling out and I got to do some stuff to fill my cup up. So it might be the same as you. Like if you feel like you're doom scrolling at night time and then you're just rolling out of bed in the morning, you're not eating breakfast and you're literally going straight on your phone and then to work. Like is there little things like maybe put the phone away at night time and give yourself that extra half an hour in the morning to just show up the way that you want to on that day by doing the meditation or eating outside or those sort of things.
And that's the thing is it's so common now for people to wake up, like roll out of bed, go on their phone, rush to work, have a stressful day at work, go home and like maybe see their kids and cook dinner, go on their phone, go to bed. Every single one of those things pretty much dysregulates your nervous system.
Yeah. And I know it's getting bad with me when I'm waking up in the night and I'm like, check my notifications. I'm like, okay, this is getting ridiculous. Like I need to do something.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure some people would relate to that too. It's like, you think, what's happened in the
business, 5 hours, business owner, I know.
5 hours I've been asleep or whatever. So you've worked with a lot of people now through Reiki and nervous system work. What's the biggest breakthroughs that you've witnessed?
I feel like there's been a lot of really good breakthroughs and my work is different depending on the client as well. And that's, it's hard to describe what Reiki is because it's so different for everyone. But the biggest transformations have been probably people with anxiety, regulating their nervous system and then having perfect sleeps that they haven't had for years and getting emotional because they have felt so much better. So in relation to nervous system, I feel like that's the most rewarding thing. But I also love seeing people who struggle with self-confidence and like identity and things like that as well. Which is still related to nervous system regulation, but it's also like quite a emotional thing as well.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm very passionate about because I have struggled with that as well.
Yeah.
And hearing people, they open up about how they're feeling and that they're not really sure. A lot of them say they feel stuck and a lot of them do struggle with their nervous system the more I talk to them. And a lot of them are empaths and take on a lot from other people.
Yeah.
So then a lot of the time when they come in, they have no idea about any of that. And then as I talk to them and as I go through their session, I'm like, you're taking on a lot from other people. I can feel that. I can feel that your nervous system is just like in fight or flight and you're feeling stuck probably because of those two things. So then getting them to do some journaling to figure out where they want to go, what they want to do, and like asking the deep questions of like, what actually lights me up? Like, what do I actually want to do? What am I passionate about? What makes me feel bad or stressed? And like eliminating those things from your life and adding more of the things that are positive to your life. So seeing people like doing that and I think just like sharing with people what I can feel when they come in and it just clicks for them and you can see straight away they're just like, and a lot of them get quite emotional and they like get upset because I think they've felt very alone and they don't talk to people a lot about it because there's not really anything wrong as well. I think they feel like there's not really like anything major happening, but they just feel so lost and stuck. It's really common. So that's where I'm really passionate about that sort of client and, working with them for them to have a bit of like a self-discovery and sort of rebuilding and seeing where they want to go in life is always really nice. And then also something that I deal with a lot is grief. I get a lot of people who have lost loved ones like recently or even a while ago as well, and sort of helping them through that as well is really rewarding too. So I deal with a lot of different clients and a lot of different concerns during my Reiki appointments, and it's just really inspiring seeing where people go with it and what it actually does to help people as well. Definitely. It's really cool.
I just want to touch on quickly, because in case anyone's listening to this and they're like, okay, I want to do some of those journal prompts that you spoke about earlier. You know, I want to know what lights me up or whatever. Sometimes they can be big questions. And I'm sure when they're already in fight or flight, like they're hard to answer. Like if I know, like when I've been stressed, if I went to write those questions, I'm like, I just get nothing on the page. And it's always helped me to focus on what you don't want to start with. And when you focus on what you don't want, then you pretty much just want the opposite of that. Like when I've mapped stuff out with my life, it's like, okay, I don't want to, I don't know, what's an example?
I feel like a lot of people like, I don't want to feel really stressed after work anymore. Like that's a big one.
Yeah. I don't want to work a 9 to 5, or I don't want to, even it could be the other way. I don't want to sacrifice my work for, I don't know, everyday things. Like I love my job.
I always tell people, a lot to make a ritual for themselves, like a nice sort of self-care ritual that they feel excited to do. So like for me, I have I call it my altar. I have like a little like bench with like my record player and like my tarot cards and incense and stuff like that. And I sit there and I start with the tarot card to like set an intention, see what I need to hear. Then I'll go into my journaling and I'll ask the deeper questions. Then I'll go into my yoga because it's like I'm regulating my nervous system to do more of the emotional question. But I'm also excited to do it because it feels nice. Like it's like a little, just like nice self-care sort of thing that I do for myself.
Definitely.
So I feel like that's helpful.
Yeah. Find your thing.
Yeah.
All right. A few more. You come along to the retreat at the start of the year, which amazing. Want to go back. What's your biggest takeaway from that weekend, and what surprised you the most?
My biggest takeaway is how important community is. I feel like it's something you hear a lot, and like you see a lot of people doing retreats and things like that. But then once you're actually in, I think holding the space too. Like when you're the one facilitating and holding the space, it's like, wow, I'm actually changing people's life.
Yeah.
And it's so inspiring. So I think community and connection to other women, because we all feel very similar things, but we don't talk about it a lot. Especially, I think, being in a small town. I think in cities, there's more ways to connect with more people, and especially doing like more emotional, like journaling workshops and things like that, or women's circles. We don't really have that here. So joining a community and then doing something like a retreat allows you to have that deeper connection with other people, which builds, friendships, but it also just makes you feel better and feeling like you are normal. Like what you're feeling is totally fine. If you are feeling like your, nervous system isn't regulated, or if you're feeling anxious and things like that, you don't talk about it a lot, but then when you talk to other people, often people are feeling the same as what you are.
Definitely.
So that was really nice, really talking to other women about all of that. And the thing that surprised me the most was probably how much it's changed me.
Yeah.
Running
We
it.
were running it, yeah.
We were running it, but I think just like it's given me a lot more confidence in knowing sort of what I'm talking about. Like I think I research and I am so passionate about it, but I don't share a lot of things in like group settings or anything like that. Even I don't talk a lot on my socials or anything like that. So then sharing it with a group while they're all looking at me and I'm like public speaking, it actually made me feel really good. It made me feel really confident as well. So that was really nice too.
Yeah.
And I think it just made me feel so much more inspired to do more of it as well.
Definitely. When you see you can change your life, it's like, I want to do this all the time.
Yeah.
One thing we talked about in one of our, we call it cadet sessions, is the girls that are, it's like team personal development. Is that what it's? No, sorry, a team professional development session. We do them weekly now. We're talking about how you don't truly understand something you can teach it to someone else.
Yeah.
And sometimes the stuff doesn't actually click until you start teaching someone else. Like you can know it all, like, and you're passionate about it and you love it.
Yeah.
And when you actually start teaching other people and you see their faces light up and they start to understand it, it's like, okay, this is like really exciting.
Yeah. And I think like seeing the information that I can share just like feels so powerful to have those tools to share with other people, like seeing how it affected the girls on the retreat.
Yes.
And all of them were like, yep, my nervous system is in fight or flight.
Yeah.
And they all related to it. And I was like, what I'm doing is actually so important, and sharing it actually feels really good.
Yes.
And I think that was really nice.
Yeah, I agree. All right. We're just going to finish up with some top questions that are sort of on topic, off topic, sort of. So hopefully we'll tie this all together. So besides being my sister and feeling slightly obligated to say something nice, what do you generally love about the Mind and Body Club? Because I feel like our businesses work very closely together. And what do you think makes it different?
I love the community and connection. And I love coming from a nervous system point of view, like a lot of what you do actually is really good for the nervous system.
Yeah.
Even though you're pushing people to do like hard things and like challenge themselves like physically and things like that, like it's a place for people to go and feel safe.
Yes.
And you have, like your stretch classes, and I do sound healings there, so people are able to slow down as well. And then also like the walk and run club is really great for community, which is also good for nervous system as well. So I think, there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot of really good things, but probably mostly the community, and then just like the challenge as well. It pushes you as well, which I think we talk about in a little bit, which I'm excited to go over that.
I'll talk about that in a second, because this is a conversation that when I was writing questions out for Grace, I'm like, okay, this is what I think we're going to talk about. One thing that we haven't really ever spoken about, and I'm wondering what your opinion is, because in some ways me and Grace are actually very different. Like I very much like do hard things, like it's like be resilient, blah, 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 put yourself in uncomfortable situations, which you would, I'm sure, help your nervous system. But in some ways, it also, like, I know from experience, if you're always constantly doing things that are uncomfortable, like your nervous system does go, like slow down. Yeah. So there needs to be a fine line. But this is a conversation we've never really had, because I feel like you're very much like regulate, don't rush. Slow and then down. I'm like, do hard things, put yourself out your comfort zone. So sometimes it almost seems like a contradicting message. But I want to get to the bottom of, do you think it's contradicting, or do you think it works together?
I think it works together.
Yes, thank you. I was hoping you'd say that, because that's what I was hoping for. I agree. I think if you sit too much, like there's nothing wrong with what you talked about. Like all the stuff you talked about is amazing.
And same for you as well.
But if you sit too far, it's like anything in life. Like I know personally, if I sit too much in like journaling, like this is just my personality. Like every personality is different. Like if I sit too much in journaling, feeling my feelings, I don't know, what's some other things like.
Do you feel like you can get stuck in that negative bubble?
Yeah, it becomes like a spiral. And I think I have done that more this year than what I have in ages. And I'm like, I just need to get back to just like, at some point, like you do have to like just rip the Band-Aid off. Yeah. But then I also think the other way, if you sit too far in what I'm doing, which also I think got me last year, was do hard things, put yourself out your comfort zone, blah, 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 blah. I just was go, like stretching myself.
I tell her off.
Yeah, all the time. Like I was like, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And then it got to the point where it's like, I'm going on a podcast in Sydney. And it's like all things that will stretch your nervous system. I was like scared for these things, but I still did them. But I almost did it too quickly with not enough regulating on the other side of it. Yeah. So that obviously then I think leads to burnout, and like you want to find the fine line. Like I talk about doing hard things, but you do want to regulate as well. Yeah. But then you don't want to just regulate and not do hard things, because you also have to make sure you are letting your body know that it's not actually just like, I don't know how to say it. Like you're not precious. Like life is going to throw stuff at you, and if you can't get yourself out of your comfort zone, it's going to be really hard. But then if you can't get yourself regulated while also being outside your comfort zone, it's going to be really hard.
Yeah. I was looking at the questions that Chelsea sent me, and when I saw this one, I was like, that's a really exciting question, because we actually haven't spoken about this at all, but I totally agree with what you're saying. And doing hard things and getting out of your comfort zone is so important for personal growth.
Yes.
It is so important. In high school and just like school in general, I was terrified of public speaking. Would never do it. I still get really scared doing it. Even if it's just like for 6 people, like I still get scared, but I push myself to get out of my comfort zone and do that. And it has given me so much growth to then go on the retreat, do group sound healings, like do all these amazing things. So that is super important. But regulation is also really important, and being slow and, all of that is so important, but they play 2 different roles. They do go together, even though they seem like different things. But I just feel like, slowing down and regulating is really important. But some people do feel like they can get stuck in that negative bubble of like, if they're always just like, say, slow at home, journaling, feeling all their feelings. But
your mind can start to almost play tricks on you. Like, it's like, okay, I know there's a level of like, you know what you need to do and then you got to do it.
Yeah, yeah. And you have to bring in positive stuff. And that's why I say do your journaling, feel those things, feel what you don't want anymore. Like if you're like reviewing and you're like, I don't want to feel stressed anymore, I don't want to do this. Look at that, feel it, cry if you need to, get rid of it, and then think, okay, well, what actually makes me feel good? And like for me, you know, training and working out makes me feel really good. It's hard, but I love it. So like for me, I'm all about slowing down and doing that, but I'm also about pushing yourself and working hard because it does help you more so with your personal growth and more like your self-discovery, because you don't realize how much you can actually do until you get out of your comfort zone.
Definitely.
And I think that's why, like me and Chelsea, I feel like we've almost manifested majority of what we have.
Yeah, 100%.
But we also work really hard to get what we want.
Mm-hmm.
But I think something that's really important too is that we believe in ourselves.
Yes.
This is something I'm so passionate about. It's a little bit off topic, but you can create like anything you want to.
I say that all
You
the time.
can literally, you have the power.
Listen, guys, you can do whatever you want to do in life.
Yeah.
Literally.
Which is a little bit off topic, but you can have anything you want to.
Sometimes there's sacrifices.
Yeah.
Like you want to have a business, you have to sacrifice other things. You want to have kids, sometimes you're making other sacrifices. As long as you know what you're sacrificing, you can literally have it.
And as long as you want it.
Yeah.
Like me and Chelsea, when we want something, we really want it and
Like,
we really believe in it and we go after
really
it.
annoying.
Yeah, like mum and dad get sick of us.
Poor mum and dad.
Because they just hear
Imagine
about it
living with
all the
us.
time and all of our goals. But doing the hard things is what gets you what you want.
Yes.
Like you work for it, you manifest it, you believe in it and it comes to you, but you also have to put steps in place to work for it. And a lot of the time the working towards it is hard because, you know, you might have like, I don't know, say business point of view again, like new relationships with other business owners that you've never met before. And then you meet up with them for a coffee and it's like, oh my God, this is a bit scary. Like, I don't know who this person is. Like, or, you know, you go to group events or you travel for certain things as well. Like it's hard, but it's so important to get to where you want to get to.
So for someone at home, a situation that might be relevant for you, and it was for me before I owned my business, was maybe there's like a situation that you're like sitting with and you know that it's not right for you and you've done the journaling and you've done the thinking and you've dived into it, what part have I played, what part have they played, and you keep coming back to the same solution. At that point, more journaling is not the answer. You know what you need to do, you just need to do it.
And that's something I struggle.
Don't use it as procrastination tool. Like some people, you think you're being productive, but you're actually procrastinating.
Yeah. That's something I struggle with clients sometimes too, is that they really want things to change, but they don't make the changes.
Yeah.
Which is totally fine because everyone does it in their own time, but it's not going to change unless you change it.
You have to want it for yourself too.
Yeah. It gets to a point where you know what you need to do. But what sets the difference of like getting there is actually working towards that. Everything that I've worked towards in my life has been a long journey. Like even with my own health, like I've sort of changed my diet and like I work out a fair bit more now and I've lost probably about 10 kilos and like that's taken 2 years because I've done it in a way that's a lifestyle change.
Positive.
And I wanted it to be like, I want to feel good. I don't want to just like lose lots of weight.
You're not chasing, this is a whole nother topic, which we should do a whole nother episode on that. But I said this to someone the other day, you want to focus on the input, not the output. Don't focus on losing weight. Focus on what you can control. Are you showing up to class? Are you eating healthy? And then the rest will come, which is what happened with you. Like you've made sure, all right, I want to feel good. And then when you focus on feeling good, majority of the time, looking good the way you want to comes along with that.
Yeah. And I feel like losing weight for me has been quite easy because I'm not restrictive.
It wasn't from negativity, like you said.
Yeah, I'm more just, I wanted to feel good. Yeah, and that's the thing, like I say, everything is energy. What you're putting into your body is energy. I try and live from an energetic point of view. So what I put into my body food-wise is also affecting how I feel every day. And it was probably more when I got into doing this type of work that I then changed my eating because I was like, well, if I'm growing my own tomatoes and going out into the garden and picking them and eating them, that would have to be so good for my energy because you've like grown that tomato and then put it in your body and it's like, you've
seen the whole cycle of it. You're more connected to it.
you're more connected and it gives more meaning to like your food and like what you're putting into your life and to your body.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really interested because me and Grace, like, in some ways really frustrate each other. Like, we're just fine. Like, also sisters is what we do. Like, I talk to her about things and she's like, you just need to slow down. And like, not everything's about doing hard things. And then sometimes you're probably less like it now, but for a while there, I was like, Grace, you just gotta fucking do it. Like,
a lot of people like, you're a bit too chill. Like, you need to like hurry up.
Come on, let's get.
Like, I'd say to Chelsea, oh, you know, I'm gonna start selling my art. She'd be like, we'll do it. Have you got an account?
Have you got a website?
Like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, in my own time, like, I'll do it. Like, we're very different, but very similar as well.
This is getting off topic again, but when I was at the summit the other week, we had like a assessment and you got to learn what voice you were. And I'm a connective voice, blah, blah, blah. But I'm also like, you want to focus on like your top 3. I'm also a pioneer, which is like get shit done, straight to the point, blah, blah, blah. I reckon you would be like nurturer, like vibes, which is all very much like calm, like everything you're about, but without like we're yin to yang, without my pioneer of like, you got to do this. Like if you're saying you're going to do it, you got to do it. And without your like, all right, we'll do it, but we need to have the details right.
Yeah.
You don't get anything done without me. And I don't have any control over the situation without you. Like,
I know.
So this is where
we're good for each other.
With people.
Yeah.
Yeah. People call you out for things.
Anytime I need help, like even just like whenever I make a painting and I just like show Chelsea, I'm like, is this good? And she's the person I go to for business because she helps me to actually get it done and have confidence in myself because she's like, yep, just like put it up for sale, just like do it. And but then I feel like Chelsea will come to me and she's like, I have this going on and this and this, and I'm like, all right, just like breathe, regulate what's actually going on, and then we talk about it, and then I feel like that helps too. So we're like opposites, but we work really well for each other.
Even before this podcast, I was talking to her about work stuff. I'm like, Grace, I'm dealing with a situation. How do I deal with it? And I started getting snappy. She's like, you're getting angry at me. I'm like, I'm just angry at the situation. And then I feel like it's the same way as like you start getting angry at me. I'm like, no, like I'm telling you, you need to do it. The painting's good. Put it up for sale, like sort of thing. But it's also good because I do think we've built a relationship and it's a muscle that we're getting a bit off topic, but just in general with people in your life, you do want to build a muscle that, and I'm very much like this anyway. It's just like, I'm like, when Grace comes to me, I first of all ask permission. I'm like, what do you want? Do you want me to actually tell you or and then she like actually tell me? I'm like, okay.
She offends me sometimes. So she just has to say that first like, just to make sure it's okay to offend me.
Get her consent first. I'm like, or commitment. I'm like, what do you actually want to, like, what do you actually need from me right now? She's like, no, I want to hear it. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Like, and I'll be straight to the point. Like, I truly believe, because this is what I want to hear too. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. But you also have to want to hear it. So that's why I'm like, okay, do you actually want my opinion? And I've had to learn sometimes when just to not say anything.
Yeah.
And then you have probably too.
Yeah. But then I also feel like a lot of the time I tell you what you want to hear, but not in a way that like I'm lying about anything. Does that make sense? Like I want to support you because I think a lot of the time you're overwhelmed by different stuff with business.
Yeah. That comes into different personalities.
I'm also quite honest with you, but I feel like I've learned that from you.
Yeah.
Because you're honest with me. So now I'm like, okay, that's good. Like, so that's where it's also good too because we learn from each other. Yeah. And you start building that muscle. It's like, okay, it's okay to say different things. But that's probably a good thing too because as much as I'm like, I'm going to tell you how it is, I already know how it is. Yeah.
So sometimes I don't need to be told how it is. It's like, all right, I already know I'm doing a shit job at this.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just need reassurance that it doesn't mean you're a shit person. You're not good enough. It just means you need to do this.
Yeah.
Where you're probably like, I'm okay. I'm good. Yeah. But I'm like, okay, now you need to do some hard things.
I know.
So it's probably that good like mix of like we know what each other is. And that's why it's important to have people around you that you know. And it's also important, okay, this is getting way off topic, but I think this also comes back to like regulating in some ways. Not everyone needs to be everything to you. So I know that I'm going to Grace and I know what type of stuff that you're going to bring to me. Yeah. Versus when I know when to go to mum, dad, and Reese. Like when I go to Reese, like I know that he's going to say, just fucking sort your shit out.
Yeah.
When I go to you, you're going to be like, sort your shit out, but it's also okay. You're not a bad person.
Yeah.
And then like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's like, if I go to my partner, he'll always just be supportive.
Yes.
Even if he hates the painting I've done or whatever I've done, he'll be like, yeah, it looks amazing. So I'm like, right, I need to go Chelsea. And then you're like, no, it looks shit. So yeah.
So I think that's also maybe comes into regulating in relationships and stuff a little bit. Like you have to regulate yourself and also know what you want out of a situation or what you're trying to get and make sure you're showing up the best you can and know that not everyone has to be everything for you And it will cause, if you want someone to be your best friend and your biggest supporter, but also your biggest critic and your partner, and like, they can't be everything.
It's actually energetic as well, because like I sometimes say, it sounds not very good, but like you have to review the people in your life, and it's not in a negative way, but just knowing where people stand for what is your connection with that person. Like I have some friends that I know are just going to like be there for me and be really good, like when something emotionally is going on. And then I have some that, you know, is more like, I want to catch up with them on the weekend. We're going to have a lot of fun. And then I have like Chelsea, who I'm like, if I have business stuff or if I want an honest opinion, I go to you. Because if you're putting your energy into, like, say you're hanging out with your fun friends, but something emotional happens and you're looking for them for like that, you know, support, but they might struggle with that a little bit, then you're sort of like giving your energy out, or like trying to like, you know, get something from that person that they're not going to give you, which is then affecting your energy, if that makes sense.
Resentment and frustration, and they don't really know what they've done.
But it's not necessarily their fault either. No. Everyone plays a different role depending on who they are. You know, there's so much that goes into it. So knowing where your relationships stand as well.
And also, how do you feel like energetically after? Like, there's some people that I've opened up to and I was like, oh, I shouldn't have opened up to you. Like, I actually feel worse for doing that. Yeah. So that's always a good thing to look at too, is like
knowing where to go.
Where to go. And like some people you only want to see sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So some people you're like, I could spend all day, every day with you.
Yeah.
Me, as someone who really is empathetic, I take on a lot.
Me too.
And I really stress about stuff. So as much as I seem extroverted, I'm so introverted. And I also I know I need my alone time, especially when we're working with clients and you see a lot of people one day, a lot of different emotions. Sometimes like I just need to do nothing on the weekend.
Yeah.
Me and Maria always laugh because Maria's always out on the weekend. And I'm like, I don't know, like, not that necessarily, like, she's always doing something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just need to, like,
I know, I'm
stay
jealous
inside and not leave the house. Like,
I'm jealous of her because I wouldn't be able to do that either. No, but I'm like, I wish I could go out and socialize every weekend, but yeah, I can't. But again, different personalities and energy. Again, we are probably more empathetic. So we take on more energy than what some other people would as well. So then when it comes to like weekends and stuff, we're like, right, we need our rest, like our social batteries.
We need to do some painting, relax and read books.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing is sometimes we always think like, what's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. Like, you just got to know your nature and your energy and just check in with yourself and go, okay, like I'm not like that. That's okay.
Yeah.
And doesn't mean I'm wrong or the other person is right or they're wrong and I'm right. Just because I want to live a certain way doesn't mean everybody has to. And I think that then again, eliminates a lot of stress. That's like me and Grace want to live very differently. So I always go like, okay, I'm not telling you that you need to work 24/7.
Yeah.
But if I want to work 24/7, like it's okay. But obviously there's a fine line of like, okay, Grace is sometimes like, okay, you can work 24/7, but like not that much.
Because then your nervous system is,
And then I'm like, okay, Grace, you have to post on your socials that you're actually open today. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I know.
So there has to be like a fine line. I always think like, even like when I'm like talking with members and stuff, like if you don't always want to do hard things, that's fine. But
how can we still get you results and push you enough that you're getting a lot out of that workout?
Yeah. And I'll never ever make you, like, even on the retreat, like if we were speaking to someone and they were like, my goals over the next 5 years is like to not work, I would be like, just because I don't relate to that, I would still be like, that's awesome. All right, how can we get you there?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not about changing other people.
No.
It's not like once you, like, I think everything we talked about today is looking within.
Yeah. And slowing down and just reflecting on yourself. Like, everything starts from you. Everything comes from you in life.
Yeah. So don't journal and do like, what's it? The burn book in Mean Girls.
Yeah.
It's not like, this person. Like, it's like, okay, where does it start in that situation? It always starts with you. Maybe you shouldn't have let that person so close to you, or like you should have listened to your gut. Maybe you already had signs about that person or something like that. I don't know. I feel like we went on a bit of a spiral there.
Yeah, that was a bit off topic, but hopefully I feel like that was good to talk about.
Yeah. In general though, find the happy medium.
Yeah.
Regulate and do hard things and you'll
both
have the best
equally
life
as important as each other.
Yeah. I feel like we need a high five to that because we agree.
Yep.
Okay, to finish up, just a few more questions. One is, you're a business owner. How has learning to regulate your nervous system changed the way you shop, make decisions, and handle the pressure that comes along with the joys of running a business?
I feel like, well, I've already spoken a bit about public speaking.
Yeah.
It helps me so much with that. I get, freeze response, but I also get shaky when I public speak too. Like my hands just start shaking. Like I just get so anxious. But yeah, learning to ground and regulate has like helped me so much, because it's just like, why, like I talk to people all day every day, so why would I care having like multiple people in a room talking to them when I don't stress about doing one-on-ones and things like that. So definitely helps me with confidence in that sense. But then I guess too, like one of the hardest things about running a business is feedback, negative feedback, opinions.
I do not take it personal.
It's hard to not take it personal, especially when you put your whole life into something.
Oh yeah, like when you work
like
24/7.
I don't think
so
people
hard.
realize how much you actually put into a business.
I
It's
know.
crazy.
If it's like your like expression of yourself. So like I know when I get like feedback, I'm like, I'm actually putting my whole life into this, and it's like for like non-selfish reasons, because I really want you to live a long, happy life. So then, when you get feedback, it's like, what am I doing this for?
And it comes from your creative energy too.
Yes.
So if someone doesn't like what you're doing, then it's like hard, because it's like, well, that's sort of me.
I know, like so you don't like me.
Yeah, but like obviously it's not like that. And when you're giving a service to people, there's always feedback and things like that. That's normal. Yeah, you do encourage it.
You just gotta muscle to like. Yeah, rehearse the muscle of not taking it personally.
Yeah, so I think I've just like grounded to understand that more, and just like, really not letting that make me feel anxious or, give me any extra stress, because you can't really change what other people sort of think as well. Obviously, you can try and prevent negative feedback as much as you can. But you can't really control that, and you can't control what other people say or think like to you. So just like grounding and being more regulated can help you to be like, that person feels that way. I'll take that on board. That's fine. And then try and let it go from there.
Yeah. And I think there's also a level to, there will be people that purely just don't want to understand you.
Yeah.
Like they are on a mission just to misunderstand you. And that's something I've had to learn, is like, not everyone's going to understand
what you're doing
and love it, or they'll love it for a bit and then it'll flip for a bit. But it's like, like being okay with,
I think like
not everyone loving it.
In the past, I would have dwelled on a client complaint or something like that for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Every single day, nearly all day, every day. But now it's like, I read it, I take it on board, and then I literally just like do a cleanse of like my energy, or like shake it off and be like, all right, like you can't let it affect you. You can take it on board and, change if you need to change things. But just not letting it control you as much as well.
Definitely. Yeah, we definitely want we welcome feedback, obviously. But it is hard when you do feel like sometimes it's like, oh, damn, I thought I was doing a good job.
Yeah.
So, and it has nothing to do with your worth.
No.
It's just a simple thing. It's 3:33. So
it's weird.
I've been seeing that all the time too. So to finish up, I've got 2 last questions for you. 1, what are your biggest goals over the next 3 years? Who are you becoming, and what impact do you hope to have?
I have so many goals, so many dreams. I have such a big dream for myself, but it's going to take a lot of time to get there. But at the core of what I want to do is I want to help people. I want to help other people find themselves as well. And I want to help people just to feel better in their mind and body, and learn more about their mind and body and how much control you actually have over it too. But I think the main thing as well is I actually want to inspire people.
Yeah.
Whether that's with my Reiki and sound healing and, retreats and that sort of thing, or if it's with my art, because I think those all come into inspiring people.
Yeah.
To feel their best. And, if someone sees my art, I want them to like feel really good about it and like want it in their space and connect to it. I always feel like fully myself when I'm just like creating, and I've always felt like that. I've painted since I was like 5. Like I don't even know how long.
Forever.
Like, and whether I've been doing like painting or jewelry, like I've done so many things, but I've found more of an art style too that I really connect with. That's more energetic and like a bit more spiritual too.
I feel like you really found your
I have, and I'm so excited to share more. But at the core of everything, I just want to inspire people, and I just want to grow to help as many people as I can. And, maybe offering something online so that people that don't live in our town can also work with me for nervous system regulation, but also doing one-on-ones to help people as well. But I feel like that's just like the core. And I want to be someone who, inspires. And something I've been focusing a lot on is trying to create more than I consume. I'm trying to buy less and I'm trying to be more, which I need to.
She did work on that one,
and I live more of a simple life, but then create more for others.
Yeah.
Because I just find that super fulfilling.
Yeah.
And it's something that I actually do for myself. Like when I create, I could sit and paint for like 2 days straight and not eat. And I won't, but especially from a nutritionist, but like I just get in such a zone and it's so fulfilling for me.
Yeah.
Like it's just crazy. I just feel like it just takes over and I just like love it. So I just want to have more of that creation and just like helping others from that. But teaching people about their nervous system and doing more things like this, more connection with other people, sharing with other people. Yeah.
Love. Me and you are going to do some big things over the next couple of years.
Hopefully. I hope so.
You're going to regulate them.
Yeah.
I'm going to make them do hard stuff.
Yeah.
We'll meet in the middle.
Yeah.
After you deal with me, you can go get regulated by her. Then once you're regulated, you come back to me. It would be a good meet in the middle.
Yeah.
We'll be doing lots more together, I reckon, over the next couple of years, which is exciting.
Hopefully more retreats.
Yes. Love. All right. What's one piece of advice that you want to leave with the listener who's feeling stuck, burnt out, disconnected with themselves, that you mainly want them to remember from this conversation? So if they don't take anything else, you take this thing.
I want you to know that you can create any life that you want to. You can live however you want to. You can feel however you want to. You just need to put the steps in place to get to that. And everyone's different with what they want, but learn yourself, learn how you feel, what you want to do, what you're passionate about, and then just start doing it. Everything is small steps. Like everything in life is small steps. Just take those steps to get to where you want to. Nervous system regulation is a huge part of that too. Whether you want to run a business, change a job, create a family, whatever your goals are, your nervous system is super important in that. So start those little things that we talked about today. Start those habits. Start your journaling and working on yourself and just start creating and living how you want to, because life is short as well. And we are here to just live. We're here to experience a human life and we have the power to do whatever we want with that. And we don't live forever. So you do have to do the things that you want to do.
I wouldn't want to.
We get very stuck in feeling stuck. Like we get stuck in feeling stuck and not knowing what our purpose is. And I don't think anyone fully knows what their purpose is sometimes. And you never fully know who you are, but you can start to feel more like it. Like when I started doing my art style, I was like, this is me. Like that was the first time I've ever been like, wow, like this is actually me and what I want. But it's taken me years of painting, like my whole life of painting to get that style and fully feel happy with it. So I can't emphasize it enough. Create the life that you want to create, do the things that you want to do, and just work hard to get there and just regulate and learn more about yourself. And like Chelsea says, the hard things actually go into what I talk about too, because a lot of people find meditation and journaling hard because they find it boring.
True.
And I totally get that. And I found it boring to start with, but the amount that it's helped me is just crazy. So it's like, it is worth it. And when you say meditate every day, it feels like it's doing nothing until you look 2 years later, you look back and think about how stressed or anxious you used to feel. That's what it's doing. It's not going to just make you feel amazing straight away, but it's the steps that you're putting in place to feel better and to limit your risk of having a panic attack or, struggling with anxiety and things like that.
It's prevention, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. It's those tools that just prevent those things. So I really hope you all feel inspired and go and start your journaling and start doing more of what makes you happy as well.
Thanks, Grace, for joining us on the podcast.
Thanks
that was
for
a
having
really,
me.
really good episode. We always finish with see you, love you, bye, as our family says.
Yes.
So we'll see you on the next one. See you, love you, bye.